the nation. Reason behind my decision to stand as an independent member of parliament for Mwembeshi East constituency, as opposed to stand on Resolute Party under the PF Pamodzi Alliance. This decision to stand as an independent member of parliament was not made lightly. It followed careful reflection on the current state of the PF Pamodzi Alliance and my conviction that the Zambian people deserve focused, principled, and effective leadership. So my reasons to be an independent member of parliament from Mwembeshi East was just something that I looked at Mwembeshi itself, because Mwembeshi is where I was born and bred. I did my primary school at Shabao Primary School. I did my secondary school from grade 8 to grade 9 at Nambala High School, and I finished my grade 12 from Nampundwe High School from grade 10 to grade 12 in 2007. So over time, it has become increasingly evident that the alliance has suffered from a lack of cohesion, strategic direction, and decisive leadership. Instead of functioning as a united political force, member parties have largely been left to operate independently with little coordination or collective purpose. As you are aware that I was the National Youth Chairperson for Pamodzi Alliance. Before that, I was appointed by President Edgar Chabalongo as a deputy chairperson in charge of students. But even as I joined Tonse, I was running, and I'm still running, an organization that is regional. I won the election in Botswana, where I was made a block president for Zambia, and I became a regional president to run the affairs of SASIDA, which is Southern Africa Student and Youth Development Association. And it was because of this organization that I thought that working with the Tonse Alliance and other organizations and other political parties, including the Patriotic Front Party, which was the anchor party, to see that we can help the Zambian people and do better than the UPND, which has been a party in government. So from there, that's where I found myself in this alliance. Along the way, we fought amongst ourselves. We brought ZRP, which is run by Right Musoma, and many other political parties that came on board, and we made Pamodzi Alliance to be a strong voice, strong pillar in the Zambian democracy, and also an alliance that had an opportunity to be an alternative for this country is the economical challenge. So this is where I come from, and this is where I have to state my position as I remain an independent member of parliament in Mwembeshi constituency. So there has been no clear direction from the alliance leadership of the Pamodzi Alliance. Pamodzi Alliance, the Tonse Alliance, they are together. And we are members that sit in the Council of Leaders, members that made a decision to bring Tonse and Pamodzi alliance together so that it can be an alternative government in this coming election. So when I looked at myself as a National Youth Chairman and where I stand, and now things were moving after my brother and comrades, Vice President of the NR, is it what? NRPUP, Vice President Honorable Makebi Zulu, I saw the leadership. Honorable Makebi Zulu is a good leader, focused, young, and a person that we asked ourselves, from you guys who are seated here from SACIDA, we wanted to support him to be the next Republican president of this country. But along the way, and through you guys, you advised me to say the decision to join the two forces to make up one unity was a collective responsibility. But as a result of that, members of the PF Pamodzi Alliance have effectively been left to act like headless chicken without guidance, coordination, or shared roadmap for achieving our common political objective. When I was mobilizing you guys here, from Unilas, from Zikas, from even on NIPA, Rockview University, DMI, Royal Medical, Eden University, Apex, and many other universities that we've been working within ourselves as SACIDA. I was promising you that to be part of the alliance, it will help most of us that are into medical, trade, those that are doing engineering, those that are doing nursing, those that are doing clinical medicine, those that are doing business administration. It was something that I thought that working in an alliance, we are going to make sure that everyone benefits of having SACIDA to be part of this alliance. So, as I understand, a political alliance can only succeed when there is a strong leadership, regular engagement, clearly defined programs, and an inclusive decision-making process. Unfortunately, these essential ingredients have been lacking in the alliance itself. And my decision to go independent was therefore not a rejection of cooperation or unity. Rather, it was a commitment to provide focused leadership, accountability, and a clear vision that can better serve the aspiration of the Zambian people. As I call myself as Ibrahim Mwamba, the only president who is a general, I made a decision, and this decision was a something that I consulted to contest as an independent candidate was President Makebi Zulu. And I also reached out to President Ibrahim Mwamba to say, because he was a very supportive person to most of our programs that I was conducting within the youth and the student related affairs in this country when he was the leader of the opposition was very helpful. But when I looked at how everything was coming together between Tonse, I looked at my brother from Ndola, former Minister of Youth and Sport, Emmanuel Mulenga, was being challenged by a political party within the alliance. I looked at my brother, my sister also, the sister to JJ Banda in Petaoke. Also, she had an issue of being challenged by Resolute Party, political party. So, why I want to state, and I want the country at large to hear me out of my decision, because abantu walelanda, no, Ibrahim, you made a mistake to go as independent. Why didn't you contest on Resolute Party? Why did you not contest on the NRUP? You understand? It was because of how I saw that there was a weakness in leadership. Because if we were a collective responsibility type of leadership, I think today we were not going to pass through what is happening. As I'm speaking to you, the Zambian people, there's an issue that is before the Electoral Commission of Zambia, where the songs of Mundubire, when the president of Resolute Party is Makebi Zulu, and they were given an ultimatum to reach Friday so that the party leadership can make a decision if at all it can stop other political parties endorsing them and becoming to stand as an independent. I looked at the Zambian people. I did not look at myself as a selfish leader, no. I looked at the interest of the people of Mwembeshi that are lacking deep tanks, that are lacking dams where cattle can be drinking their water, people that are lacking more clinics, people that are lacking hospitals, people that are lacking better roads, and also youth empowerment, youth employment, and women empowerment. These are major things that I looked at. And when I look at this confusion, even as much as we are rejoicing to see that yes, there's a very competitive opposition that is pulling crowds, but again, we should remember that there's a day of voting. When that time of voting comes, you find that the people that you are voting, the vice president has got his own political party, the president has got his own political party, and they've fielded candidates in an election. How are people going to make a decision? And this is where I ask myself, and this is where I make a decision as a president general, that it's high time that we make selfless decision. It's high time that we make decision for the best interest of the Zambian people. And this is one of the issues that has made me to contest as an independent member of parliament, because I don't want to be part of the confusion, and I don't want to be part of being looked at as a confusionist. I had to take off a very big position, a biggest position, and a position that is a pillar and a backbone of any political movement, any political organization, as a national youth chairperson of an organization that is Pamodzi Alliance, to just stand as an independent member of parliament for Mwembeshi East constituency. So my position is in the best interest of the Zambian people, and I take full criticism of belonging to Pamodzi Alliance. When I go in my constituency, they look at me as PF, they look at me as Pamodzi Alliance. And I want to take this opportunity to tell the Zambian people that, yes, umuntu liwonse ngashita resign from an organization needs to be respected because it's a law. And the ECZ accepted me for being an independent candidate because I resigned. So when they look at me, they should look at me as a Zambian person. When they look at me, they should look at me as an independent member of parliament that has made a decision, because I was part of an alliance. And I want to take this opportunity because I've seen a lot of social media that is happening. Look, when you are in an alliance, we need to have a collective position. We need to have a collective message. We need to have a collective decision as an alliance. And as I stand here, I want to tell you, from the time Honorable Rubinda left as a chairperson of the Pamodzi Alliance. When my elder brother, Honorable Makebi Zulu, took over, we've never, in fact, we've only had one meeting of the Council of Leaders. All these decisions that have been made, that you have seen between Tonse and Pamodzi, it is a decision that has only come out from President Makebi Zulu and few members of the Patriotic Front Party. But majority members of the Pamodzi Alliance have been left out, including myself, who was a Council of Leaders. I don't know, even in that agreement between the two people, only, I don't know who knows, because I've been in touch with my colleagues, because my organization, was part of it, and majority of you guys here, you attended meeting, you attended function of Tonse Pamodzi Alliance. Today, you cannot be brought on the table as Council of Leaders to understand on how campaigns needs to be done, how progress is being done, how postmortems are being done after all these rallies that they've been having. It has been just a good number of PF members, including President Makebi, maybe they are right in Musoma, but the rest of the people that define Pamodzi Alliance are nowhere. Have been left out, have been put in a dustbin, to borrow the words of Garingomo. So for me, if I was a beneficiary of Tonse, I think for me, I was going to be a person that was going to be with them even now. But I've decided to remain as an independent candidate, ready to work with a government of the day. And victory is certain for me, for Mwembeshi East constituency. But I don't want to be crucified and looked at as a Tonse Alliance member when I've never spoken to Ibrahim Mwamba from the time he's been campaigning as president of the Tonse Alliance. I've not spoken to President Makebi Zulu, who is the running mate to President Mwamba, from the time he's been a running mate. And many times that I've tried to share with colleagues that have remained in the alliance, everyone is blank. They don't know where the alliance is moving. Yes, we understand that there must be unity of purpose. Zambian people called for the opposition to unite. But from the unity that the opposition has shown, is it trickling down to see that the alliance should avoid people contesting amongst themselves? That's what we call leadership. And I want two candidates within the alliance itself. When you go to Chawama, there's a party, there's an when you go to the they're chatting amongst themselves. The other one is the president. The other one is the two political parties are chatting themselves within the alliance itself. How are Zambians going to expect to take over from President Hakainde Hichilema if you're able to take leadership within the alliance itself? We cannot go in an election where amongst yourself, you, President Mwamba and President Makebi, you are competing with President Hichilema. But when you go you are competing amongst yourself, President Makebi and President. So I thought it was high time that you address this issue, because I for me, I want to sit here and the people should take me that we need to have sober leaders, we need to have real leaders, we need to have leaders that should come from the Bible. The Bible in Hebrew Proverbs, they say, have vision. If you have vision, people perish. Is President Mundubire and running mate Makebi Zulu have a vision to run the affairs of this country so that people can know because it's and the rest will be noticed by the example when they go to the corporate and sort out that issue before they get to a position where Chirinda and the others, mayors that are gone against using the political song of Makebi Zulu, of Mundubiri and Makebi Zulu. So this is where I want to appeal to the Zambian people that yes, we remain Zambians and I remain an independent. And I know people, comrades, when I called for this press briefing, they thought I was going to withdraw. I'm not withdrawing. I'm still on rest and I'm not for sale. And victory is certain. And I want to mention to people that I work with the government of the day. But I remain to advise President Mundubire and President Makebi Zulu to show leadership. Let them be leaders that Zambians will be trusted with the constitution of this country. Takwawa, our leaders that are doing so well, they are pulling clouds and they are an alternative to the next government. But how is the alliance performing within its own administration? You understand? And it's from there that I want to let's always to choose and vote for the best president that showing leadership, because leadership is everything, and leadership is what odds any leader as a legal tender. I thank you. No, just ask for the question.
It's fine, it's so clear.
No, just one or two questions. It's very important. Babit.
Maybe just to gain clarity on
Yes.
Are you completely cutting ties with the Tonse Alliance, the Mundubire group, as an MP that is standing in Mbeshu?
No, for me, the time I resigned from my position, look, I had a very rich position as National Youth Chairperson, a very healthy position, and I know I was going to add value to the campaigns and just making sure that they form government. But look, my brother, at the end of the day, it's about leadership. Leadership starts where you stand. Where is Mundubire stand? Where is all members of parliament that is so that's a lack of leadership. And I think from the electoral commission, let them show